बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रज यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव अनंत देव लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय भक्त प्रहलाद भक्त प्रहलाद जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर की राधा माधव की जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई सुदर्शन भगवान की श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिम्हा देव की लक्ष्मी नरसिम्हा देव अनंत देव की भक्तराज प्रहलाद महाराज की जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल हरे कृष्ण। Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you for the opportunity. And sorry I was not able to come for some time. I felt Prabhu was complaining for a few minutes that he first came that time and now he's coming now. I took it as a complaint. So usually I have some traveling to do on Sunday. Sunday afternoon I kind of take off. So that is how I'm not able to come. But I think by the Lord's mercy, I was able to come. Even this time, I think I was not supposed to take a class. Some other devotee was supposed to take the class, but then it just happened that I got an opportunity. Okay, so today we're going to speak a few pastimes about Narsimha Bhagavan. Okay, so can somebody tell me in which, how many yugas are there? Five yugas? Four? Okay, so which are the four yugas? Which is the first yuga? Satya Yuga, very good. Second one, Treta Yuga. And the third one, Dwapar Yuga. And the fourth one, Kali Yuga. Okay? And right now, we're all in Satya Yuga. Kali Yuga. Okay, all right. So we're all in Kali Yuga right now. Huh? We wish, yeah. Yeah, we wish we were in Satya Yuga. But there are drops of Satya Yuga here and there. One drop is here, you know. So sometimes we get to meet Sadhu Sangha or Sat Sangha we get to meet. So what is the meaning of Sat Sangha? Every Sunday we come here for Sat Sangha. What is the meaning of Sat Sangha? Yeah, proximity of divine. Yeah. Good association. Okay. So Sat Sangha. So the word Sat comes from Satya, right? So anybody who discusses the truth, that is Satya. Those who discuss Satya, and when they meet together, that is called as Sat Sangha. So somebody who speaks false, somebody who speaks lies, that group cannot be called as Sat Sangha. So today we are here to speak about Bhagavan Narsimhadev, and he is the Parama Satya. There is no more Satya greater than him. So our association is called as Satsang. We can call it Satsang in that sense. Okay. So we have few slides. I just quickly in 10 minutes we just made few slides just as just to guide us through what we are going to talk about. So today we will start off with. I mean, everybody already knows the Katha of Bhagwan Narsimhadev. I think many of you would have also watched the movie. How many of you have watched the movie? Ah, very good. Okay. So you would have watched the movie of Narsimhadev also. But the beauty of these pastimes of Bhagwan Narsimhadev or any of the pastimes of the Lord is that one never gets bored. Hmm? You can watch any popular movie once, twice, three times. Durandar, you watch it once, you'll get excited. Huh? Second time, you'll get bored, isn't it? Or any movie, I don't know, any other popular movie you can think of. You can watch it once, twice, third time, you will get bored. But when we speak about Ramayana, when we speak about Mahabharata, no matter how many times these kathas are told, we can continue to hear. During COVID, they played the old Ramayana. Hmm? That what's his name? Arun Govil, no? Arun Govil's first Ramayana. I remember watching that when I was a child. That Ramayana, even though it was very old-fashioned, the style, it's all, those actors have also become very old now. But uh, even that became a big hit. People were watching it during COVID. So no matter who we are, you can be a devotee, you can be a non-devotee, whatever you are. We never really get bored of Ramayana or Mahabharat or all these kathas. Even not only the astikas, like all of us, even Nastiks never get bored, isn't it? They also want to find faults. So they will also keep listening to Mahabharata and Ramayana. That is their favorite subject because they want to find faults. Hmm? So we can get bored of anything else, but we can never get bored of Harikatha. Okay? All right. So today, a few things from Prahlad Maharaj. And who are these two gentlemen? Jay and Vijay. So who are they? Yeah. So they are the Dwarapalakas of Vaikuntha. Hmm? So in the Bhagavad Gita, all of you have been studying the Bhagavad Gita. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that somebody who goes to my abode, to Vaikuntha, can never fall down. Once they get liberated, they go to Vaikuntha, they can never fall down from Vaikuntha. But here we have a story of two people who fell from Vaikuntha. So how did that happen? How when Krishna says it is impossible to fall from Vaikuntha, he says, once you have come there to my Param Dham, you can never fall down. But these two people fell down. Curse of a devotee. Then what is the meaning of Krishna telling it is not possible? Well, if it is not possible, it is not possible. Did Krishna say not possible, but sometimes conditions applied? They didn't fully reach. Okay. Vaishnav Ninda is exception. But how can somebody do Vaishnav Ninda in Vaikuntha? Vaikuntha, our heart is pure. How is it even possible? Here we understand. Here we are not pure, so we may commit some Vaishnav Ninda. But in Vaikuntha, our hearts are so pure. How is it possible that we commit any Vaishnav Ninda there? Krishna's will. Okay. Yeah. So it is true that it was Krishna's will that they met the four Kumaras. So these are four Kumaras. So they look like small children. Okay, they all look like small children. Okay. They look like small children, but they are actually great Maharishis. But they are in the form of small children. So these are the Chatush Kumara. Now these Kumaras are in the form of small children because small children of that age don't have Kama Vasana. Because Kama Vasana is absent, they decided that we don't want to become adults. We will remain small children. It's very safe. Hmm? So with their siddhi, they remained like that. So we cannot, but they remained like that as small children. But their intellect was like great Maharishis. So they once they approached Vaikuntha because they wanted to have darshan of Bhagwan. And these two, they did not allow them. And they said, no, 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 sorry, no entry. It happens, no? We go to so many temples. We have gone to Tirupati. How many of you have gone to Tirupati? Did you have very peaceful darshan in Tirupati? Right? Jargandi, Jargandi. Right? So you will at least, if you don't know Telugu, at least that one word you will learn. Because so many times they will push you and they'll teach you that word. Jargandi, Jargandi, they'll push you. So you have to ignore all of them and deep meditation because you get only 1 second in front of the Lord. So in deep meditation of 1 second you have to cross, isn't it? So Jargandi, Jargandi, you'll have darshan. So just like that, even in Vaikuntha, Jay and Vijay were there. They were also doing Jargandi, Jargandi to everybody. No having darshan, no time, no time. Bhagwan is sleeping. Huh? So while they were not letting anybody, these four Kumaras came. The four Kumaras, they said, okay, great rishis, thank you for coming, but please come at 4:30 when darshan opens. Right now you can go. And four Kumaras said, we are the Chatush Kumaras. We are here to see Bhagwan. And we don't come here without the prerana of Bhagwan. So he himself has called us, and that is why we are here. They said, chalo, chalo. We know all this. Many people come and give all these dialogues. Chalo, chalo, chalo. So they sent the four Kumaras. Now the four Kumaras got very angry. Now all these are questions that in Vaikuntha, how is it even possible to get angry? It is impossible. All these material feelings don't come there. And first of all, why did Jay and Vijay behave like that? And then, even if they behave like that, these are great Maharishis. Why did the Maharishis respond in that way? And these are very important questions. So, all this is possible only with the prerana or the plan of Vishnu. One more thing is that Srila Madhvacharya, um, people may question, but Krishna has told, if Krishna has told it is not possible to fall from Vaikuntha, it is not possible, then how is it that they fell? So Madhvacharya explains that there is, there are two categories. One is called as Mukta Vaikuntha, the other is called as Amukta Vaikuntha. Okay? Amukta Vaikuntha. Outside the gate of Vaikuntha is called as Amukta Vaikuntha. And that is where Jaya and Vijaya were standing. So inside the gate of Vaikuntha, the moment you enter, you cannot fall. It is impossible to fall because Bhagavan has given his word. How can anybody fall? But Jaya and Vijaya were not inside Vaikuntha, they were outside the gate of Vaikuntha. So there is a place called as Amukta Vaikuntha where all jivas, let's say all of us at some point, at some lifetime, we get qualified to get liberated and we go to Vaikuntha. There is a long process. There is a river between the material world and spiritual world, Bhautik Lok and Vaikuntha Lok. Between that, there is a river, and the name of the river is anybody? Viraja. Okay, Viraja River. Now, in this, some people call it, in some Puranas, it is mentioned as Vaitarani also. But Vaitarani is also a river that separates heaven and hell. Naraklok and Swargalok. There is also a river there that is also called as Vaitarani. So, some people also refer to Vaitarani there. But the better word for that river that goes to Vaikuntha is Viraja. So, we take a dip in Viraja, and the moment you take a dip in Viraja river, your this is called as your Stula Sharira. Stula Sharira is made of your muscles, blood, skin, bones, all of this is Stula Sharira. This Stula Sharira keeps changing. The moment we finish our age and we deteriorate, and as we grow old, we deteriorate, hair falls, becomes grey, we become weak, bones become weak, then eventually we will die. Stula Sharira is gone. But one is constant, and that is Sukshma Sharira. Okay, Sukshma Sharira is there. So, this Sukshma Sharira, also known as a subtle body or astral body, this remains from body to body. It keeps transforming. So, tomorrow, if a person dies and then they will get another body, let's say they become a cow or a elephant or whatever, they will get Stula Sharira continues. That's a permanent thing. It continues. Only the physical body keeps changing. You may be in a male body or a female body. Stula Sharira will change, but Sukshma Sharira is constant. But the day we go to cross this material world and take a dip in Viraja river, that day our Sukshma Sharira dismantles. And then the original Swarupa, the soul, the spirit soul in its purest form, enters Vaikuntha. And then we have darshan of Bhagavan, the original Bhagavan. And you'll have darshan of Bhagavan in your Ishta form. For some people, their Ishta is, say, Sri Krishna. For some people, their Ishta is Bhagavan Ram. For others, their Ishta is Narsimha Varahadev, Kurmadev, Matsya, Narayana, whichever is your, or even in that, even in Krishna, You may have Vrindavan Krishna, you may have Dwaraka Krishna. Vrindavan Krishna is very simple, like a village boy. Some people are attracted to Krishna in that capacity. Some people want to see Krishna as the king, then they will go to Dwaraka. So all these many flavors are there in Vaikuntha. So after you take a dip in Viraja, then you go there. But outside that Vaikuntha, before you even enter Viraja, is an assembly that is called as Amukta Vaikuntha. Okay. So Jaya and Vijaya were there in Amukta Vaikuntha, and that is how they fell from that position. But that is also the desire of the Lord. That is also the desire of the Lord. And they were given an option that they take birth either 6 times. Some people say 10 times. Some people say 7 times. Puranas also say 6 times. That either they take birth 6 times as devotees, or they take birth 3 times as Rakshasas, Asuras. They did not want to stay away from Vaikuntha. So they thought, we'll see, instead of staying away for so long, we will just stay away for 3 lifetimes as Asuras and we will come back. Hmm? So they told Bhagwan that we will take this birth because uh, the Kumaras had cursed them that you will have to, you don't deserve to be in Vaikuntha, so you'll have to go to the material world. In fact, the Lord Himself appears and He pacifies the 4 Kumaras. Bhagavan Vishnu Himself comes and He pacifies the Kumaras and He apologizes to them. He says that if the employees make mistakes, the CEO has to ask for forgiveness. Right? So that is the culture that was set by Vishnu himself. So he said the employees have committed a mistake, but whatever they have done, I am responsible for it. So I beg for forgiveness. So the Lord himself is begging for forgiveness from the 4 Kumaras. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah. So he is very dear to his devotees. So he said that if someday my arms, if my arms act against my devotees, then I will cut off my arms also. That's how dear my devotees are to me. So this Bhagwan, he apologizes, but then the 4 Kumaras also apologize. And they said, we don't know why we got angry. We have never got angry till now. I don't know why we cursed them. So how did this impurity come upon us? And after saying that, they understood that even that is the prerana of Vishnu. They said Vishnu wanted this to happen. And that is why, otherwise, the Kumaras can never get angry. They got angry because that is also the prerana of Vishnu. So that is why Vishnu is called, Narayan is called as the Sutradhar. Anything that is happening happens out of his will. Nothing happens without his will. So he is the original Sutradhar. Sutre Manigana Iva, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, that all these pearls, any plan that we make, everything, the entire universe, all of that is strung on me. So he is that string and everything, all these pearls, all the major plans that we make, everything is strung on him. Okay. So this is the Lord. And then they take birth. Okay, Jaya and Vijay take birth. So what was the first incarnation of Jay and Vijay? Yeah, very good. So they both are called as the Adi Daitya. Okay. Now one thing that we need to know is that Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu were already in existence. Okay, they were already there. So it was not Jay and Vijay who took birth as Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. They entered the bodies of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. Okay, so they did not become them. They entered that body, which means there is Dvai Avesha. In that particular body, there were 2 entities. There was Hiranyakashipu also and Jay also. There was Hiranyaksha also and Vijay also. 2 people were there inside that body. This is why, if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, sometimes Hiranyakashipu gives great philosophy, very great philosophy. He says, we are not this body. How Hiranyakashipu, he is Asur. How is he talking like that? We are not this body. We have to surrender. Ultimately, this body is going to be destroyed. And we all have to answer. We all have to go to hell. We have to go to hell. So he talks about all that in Bhagavatam. How is he speaking? That is Jay and Vijay speaking. That is not Hiranyakashipu speaking. And again he will change suddenly. And he'll say, I'm Vishnu. I'm against Vishnu and I'll kill Vishnu one day. Okay. In the modern world, it is called as yeah, yeah, correct. So it is like the split personality, no? It's called schizophrenia. It's something like that. Okay. So sometimes he will say we have to surrender. Sometimes he will say I'm Vishnu Dveshi. He is my greatest competitor and I will kill him. So the first one, so both of them were twins. These two appeared as twins, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. What is the meaning of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu? Hiranya means gold. So both were only interested in paisa. Wherever they see gold, accumulate gold, 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 gold. So Hiranyaksha, in fact, Hiranyaksha is eyes. Anything he sees only gold. Sometimes you go to any of these big temples, hmm, Tirupati, etc. Some people will be waiting. Where is the Lord? When can I have darshan of the Lord? Some people will look. Everything gold, huh? How much money? Huh? How much crores they must have spent? That is also gold. Huh? So much gold. So their eyes are only on gold. That is Hiranyaksha. We all have little Hiranyaksha in us. Wherever they go to temple, they will see only gold. Actually, I heard in that they have lot of gold, lot of money. Hmm? They only see the hundi, big hundi, how much money. Right? They forgot the Lord. So this is Hiranyaksha Buddhi. Both Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu acquiring. In fact, all their three avatars, when they appeared, they had they showed different qualities. Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, their attraction to money, 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 money. When he appeared as Ravana and Kumbhakarna was only about sleeping, and Ravana only keeping an evil eye on women. Every woman, he wanted to make every woman his. He could not think of anybody else. Only women, women, women. His mind was filled with only that. Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu were not like that. Ravana was specifically like that. He also wanted gold, but more than gold, only women. His mind was filled with women. Ravan was like that. Then they appeared in the third. They appeared as Shishupala and Dantavakra. And here their heart was filled with envy, clear envy towards Krishna. They hated Krishna. Okay, even their own family members. Shishupala hated everybody in his family, and particularly he hated Krishna in fighting. So in Kali Yuga, which qualities do we have? Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Shishupala, Dantavakra, combo. Okay, so in Kali Yuga, we are a combo deal. We have all these qualities. That is why we see on the streets all kinds of Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and Shishupala, Dantavakra. Everybody is. So all of us have it. We also have small Ravan and Hiranyakashipu and Shishupala inside us. So the goal is to disempower them and empower Prahlada within our heart. So our heart is a temple of Lord Narsimha, and we have to empower Prahlada and disempower Hiranyakashipu. That is the goal. And that is why we chant, and that is why we do kirtan. We are not perfect. That is why we are called sadhakas. We call ourselves devotees, but actually we are not devotees. Devotee is a very big position. We are sadhakas. We are trying to be devotees. Okay, but when we explain to someone, it's very complicated. So we just say, yeah, we're devotees of Narayan, but Actually, we are sadhakas. We are just trying slowly, baby steps. Okay, that is why we should never think that because I do nice kirtan or someone gives nice class or someone has something else, somebody puts a garland. You should never take yourself very seriously and think, oh, I'm something else. Not at all. We're just instruments in the hands of the Lord. So the two demons. First one was Hiranyaksha, and to kill Hiranyaksha, Bhagwan appeared in which form? Jai Ho, Varahamurti. So Varahamurti appeared, and Hiranyaksha had toppled Bhumi Devi into the ocean. How is it possible? Ocean is on the earth, then how you put earth inside the ocean? Logical question. Anyone? All the ocean is on earth, and then different ocean. Which is that ocean? Okay. Hmm. Okay. Ocean of space. So there is an ocean called as the causal ocean. Okay, causal ocean or Karana ocean. Okay, Karana Sagara. So this Karana Sagara, this is the ocean where Bhagwan Narayan is resting. Okay, he rests on the ocean. So that ocean is different from the earth. Earth is a small speck. If you go to the entire universe, there is a big ocean there. In fact, half of the universe is filled with this ocean. The other half is open. So you'll see that all the lokas, there are 14 lokas. Okay, in the entire Bhuvana, there are 14 lokas, and half of it is Swarga Loka, the upper half is all the various Swargas, and in the center is Bhuloka, and lower than that are the lower planets. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Patala. In the end, there is Patala. So 7 up, 7 down. Okay. So like this, we have 14 lokas. All these 14 lokas are above this ocean. Okay. So it is a different ocean. So it was inside this ocean that Hiranyaksha he toppled Bhumi Devi. Okay, so Bhumi Devi goes inside and she goes to the bottom and she enters the muck. In the bottom of the ocean, you have like slush, no? So it goes inside that. So which animal enters the dirty soil and plays around with the soil? It is a boar. Only boars do all of that. So that is why the Lord took the form of a boar and he enters the ocean and he picks up Bhumi Devi. And as he brings her up, Hiranyaksha, he challenges Varahadev. He says, come, I want to fight with you. He has already defeated everybody. But somebody told him, Varun Dev tells him that someday somebody will come and he will defeat your pride. So he said, who is that somebody? He said, Vishnu. He will come and he will defeat your pride one day. And he says, where is that Vishnu? He's hiding. I don't see him anywhere. He says, when your time comes, he will do that. So he realized that Bhumi Devi is the wife of Vishnu. So he thought if I trouble her, then Vishnu will come. And the plan worked. He troubled her, and Narayan comes in the form of um, Varahadev. Okay. So instead of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, what was the purpose of Krishna's appearance? He says in the Bhagavad Gita, I have appeared for one reason. What is the reason? Yeah. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. Okay. So first is paritranaya sadhunam. Second is vinashaya cha dushkritam. Okay. So his primary purpose is to protect the sadhus. Secondary purpose, secondary, if at all, by chance, if some asuras come, he will kill them also. Okay, but first is, and that he showed in the form of Varahadev. The moment he appeared, he saw Hiranyaksha, he ignored him, and he went directly into the ocean. So Hiranyaksha was giving a big dialogue, I'm waiting for you, and my muscles, this, that, and he ignored him and he went away. Arey, where did he go? So, because his priority was to save Bhumi Devi. He went down, he picked up Bhumi Devi, and again this person was, Hiranyaksha was using all kinds of bad words towards Varahadev. Varahadev ignored him, and very respectfully he brought Bhumi Devi on top, and he placed her back in the orbit, very respectfully. And once she was floating, she was back on the orbit, then Varahadev turned around. Yes. What were you saying? So that is when Hiranyaksha and Varahadev had a great fight. And we all know what happened. And Varahadev, ultimately, he played for a long time. He played for a very long time with Hiranyaksha. So it is said that all these Daitya Shaktis, Asuri Shaktis, become extremely powerful in the evening. Once the sun goes down, all the Asuri Shaktis become very strong. So Brahmadev was suggesting to Varahadev that just please kill him before the sun goes down. Because once the sun goes down, his strength will double. Already, he's giving you an equal fight. Now, if his strength doubles, then what is going to happen? So even before the sun goes down, Varahadev, please just kill him. Don't play with him, just kill him immediately. And all this was conversation was going on between Brahma and Varahadev on a mental level. And Varahadev just looks at Brahma, and Brahma is sweating. Lord Brahma is sweating. And Varahadev just smiles at him and he says, "It's okay, don't worry." So Varahadev, he waited for sunset. He said, "If I kill him now, somewhere in the future, people will say that Varahadev killed him because he couldn't kill him in the night." So he said, "I will wait for the night." So he played with him the entire day. Then after sunset, when Hiranyaksha's strength doubled, and he said, "Now you cannot kill me." He came with double the strength and double the power. Varahadev killed him with one punch. The entire day he played with him. The moment his strength doubled, the Lord gave him one punch on his chest, and he started bleeding from his mouth, and he died immediately. Varahadev Bhagwan ki jai. So that is Varahadev. Okay. So his brother Hiranyakashipu, the moment he heard this, he decided that uh, this Vishnu is now my greatest enemy. I am going to defeat Vishnu. But he knew that he didn't want to go like his brother. He knew that I should not underestimate my enemy. So he sat down for a great meditation. It is said that this kind of meditation by Hiranyakashipu, his entire body was eaten. There were only bones. Ants and other insects had eaten up his entire body. And he was standing up. He was doing a standing up tapasya. So there are two kinds. One is sitting down, one is standing. Generally, asuras don't do sitting down tapasya. They stand up and do tapasya. That is a ghor form of tapasya, and that is done by asuras. Okay. Generally, sadhus, rishis, when they do tapasya, they sit down and perform tapasya. Sometimes they exchange, depending on the kind of desire they have. But generally speaking, asuras stand up and do tapasya. Sadhus or rishis do sitting down tapasya. So he was standing for many years continuously, so much that his entire body was eaten up by ants. And it was so intense that the heat from his body, because of his tapas, was burning the entire universe. And this forced Brahma. Brahmadev did not want to come. But since the entire universe was burning, everybody said, "Please stop it." The only way was for him to come there and wake up Hiranyakashipu. So he appeared there and he woke up Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyakashipu, he asked Hiranyakashipu, "Yes, what do you want from me?" Hiranyakashipu could not speak. You know why? Because even his tongue was eaten off by insects. So there was no tongue in his mouth. Only only the jiva, the soul was there. Jivha had gone. Only jiva was there and skeleton. But still he was so strong and so much determination. Lord Brahma sprinkled some Ganga Jal on his body and he brought back his entire body. So entire body's restructure happened. And he became young and strong again. And he paid his obeisances to Brahmadev. And Brahmadev asked him, "What do you need? I'm happy with your tapasya. What do you need?" So he said, "I want to become immortal. I want to become Chiranjeevi." Brahmadev said, "Sorry, not possible, because even I am not Chiranjeevi. Even I have to die, so I cannot make it." So he said, "Okay, then what can I do?" He said, "You ask something else which is similar to that. You people are good in that kind of thinking." He said, "ठीक है, okay." So then, what were the things that he asked? In the morning or in the evening? Not inside the house, not outside the house, not by a human, not by an animal. Then, not during the day, not during the night. Yeah, that is done. Then, yeah, not to be killed by any weapons. Okay, no weapons to be killed. Not to be killed by anything that is living or dead. Okay, not to be killed by anything living or dead, and not to be killed by anything that is created by you, because Brahmadev is the creator of everything. He did not know who is Brahmadev's Pitaji, right? So he thought everything was created by Brahmadev. So anything created by you also, I should not be killed. And I should not be killed by you also. Brahmadev said, "Okay, tathastu." So this is what, Brahmadev and Mahadev, they keep giving Vardhan. And Narayan has to take care of all these things. So anyway, this was done, and Hiranyakashipu appears. Hiranyakashipu goes back, and many things happens at that time. But during the tapasya of Hiranyakashipu, something else was going on. His wife, what was the name of Hiranyakashipu's wife? Okay, Kayadu. So Kayadu was pregnant, and and her husband is not there now to protect her. And because Hiranyakashipu is not there, all the devatas were attacking, and they were killing all the asuras. And at that time, Kayadu had run away because she was pregnant. And the Devatas wanted to kill her also because they thought she's pregnant and there is a Daitya growing and he will also become an Asura. Better to kill him right now. But she was protected by Narad Muni. Narad Muni comes and says, "No, don't kill her. She's pregnant." He says, "Yeah, she's pregnant, but there's a Daitya in the stomach. He'll grow up and become another Hiranyakashipu. Might as well kill him right now." He says, "No, there's actually a great devotee inside." So he takes her to his ashram, and there he talks about the entire Vedic literatures. He reveals the Vedas to her. But she was not so interested. So every time Narad Muni was speaking, she was interested. She's a nice girl. She would listen, but somewhere in between, she would fall asleep. Okay. But during the class, she would keep saying when Narad Muni is speaking, she would say, hmm, hmm, hmm. But later she would fall asleep. And while she was falling asleep, she stopped saying, and if she stops saying, Narad Muni will stop speaking. So Prahlad Maharaj in the stomach would say, mm, mm, so that Narad Muni will continue to speak. So Narad Muni continued to speak and he revealed all the Vedas, and Prahlad Maharaj learnt it in the womb of Mother Kayadu. That is why the moment he was born, he was a Parama Vaishnav. Bhaktaraj Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai. So Prahlad Maharaj was born and he grew up. He was 5 years old, and by that time, Hiranyakashipu came back. And once Hiranyakashipu comes back, he took charge, and all the devatas were so scared. Now that he is so powerful, it is said that the moment Hiranyakashipu just raises his eyebrows, all the devatas will fall on the ground. He was so scary. Leave alone open his mouth. Leave alone raise a weapon. He only had to raise his eyebrows. He just looks at them and raises his eyebrows, and everybody would get scared. So he didn't even have to challenge any of the devatas. They immediately came and surrendered to him. and they had to perform arati to him. All the songs were changed, all the mantras were changed. He said, no more Om Namo Narayana, no more Jai Shri Ram. Nowadays also it's going on in some places. Some ministers say, don't say Jai Shri Ram. Hiranyakashipu has appeared again. So there also he was saying, no Om Namo Narayana. He created a new mantra, Om Hiranyaya Namaha. What is the mantra? Don't say it. So he said the mantra. Okay, Narsimha is there. He will jump. Okay. So he created a new mantra, and he made everybody, forced everybody to chant that mantra. And he was successful. Everybody, 99.9% of people were chanting that, except mm, his own son. And that was the greatest insult for him. That everybody, the greatest of devatas, except for Brahma, Shiva, and Narayan, the Trimurti, everybody else was chanting. He didn't want to challenge any of them. He said, that we will see later on. But even Indra, the greatest after them is Indra, and he was also chanting. He had no other option. But the only boy who was not doing it was Prahlad Maharaj. So one day he calls Prahlad Maharaj, makes him sit on his lap, and he says, tell me, what did you learn in a school? And just like any other father, very affectionate towards his son, he said, chalo, aajo, baito. So he made him sit, and he tickled him, he smelled his head, just like a affectionate father, and he asked him, what did you learn? And Prahlad Maharaj, he said, this was, we'll talk about this a little later. Okay. So Prahlad Maharaj, this happened twice. He said, Vishnu is Bhagwan, I learnt all this. So he scolded his two teachers, Shanda and Amarka. He says, what is this nonsense? What are you teaching in your school? Huh? And Shanda and Amarka were the children of Shukracharya. He says, get out. And they said, no, okay, we will try again. They went and they taught him again, see, who is the supreme Bhagavan? Hiranyakashipu. And Prahlad Maharaj would say, okay, okay, fine, fine. And the moment he will go in front of his father, who is the supreme Lord? Narayan, he would say. So, he would get really angry. So even the second time, when Hiranyakashipu called him and asked him, Prahlada, what did you learn in school? That is when Prahlada tells this particular verse. So what is this particular verse? Who would like to recite? Anyone? Yes, Prabhu. Tanmanye dhitam uttamam. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Very nice. So Prahlad Maharaj said, hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto him. In other words, serving him with the body, mind, and words. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through these 9 methods should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. He told this to his father, Hiranyakashipu. Imagine. He's sitting on the lap of Hiranyakashipu and he's telling this to him. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnoho. And Hiranyakashipu, he gets so angry, he picks up Prahlad Maharaj and he throws him, he kicks him on his chest and he puts him on the ground. And he says, you take this boy and kill him. He tells his servants, his soldiers, pick him up and kill him. I had enough. And kill these two also. That is Shanda and Amarka. They said, we did not do anything. And we have not even taught him this. And neither has anybody else taught him this. He has learnt this on his own. So then he says, how has he learnt it on his own? How is it even possible for him to learn it on his own? So he says, kill him. So all of you know that Prahlad Maharaj, they tried different things to kill Prahlad Maharaj. He was attacked by an elephant, and there were poisonous snakes. He was attacked by poisonous snakes, and so many things were done. He was given poison to drink. He was put in fire, and then he was thrown from a cliff, from a mountain. Then he was thrown into the ocean also. But wherever he would go, Prahlad Maharaj always remained unharmed. Nothing happened to him, not a single scratch. Even though he was thrown inside the ocean and bitten by serpents, all those serpents died, but nothing happened to Prahlad Maharaj. He came out of the ocean, Varun Dev brought him out, and then Prahlad Maharaj, again he comes back to Hiranyakashipu. And Hiranyakashipu says, where are you getting your strength from? Who is giving you all this strength? And he says, the same person who's giving you your strength, he is the source of my strength also. So Prahlad Maharaj was very calm, but you can just see his behavior. He was never scared. Not for a minute he was scared. This is called as faith. And this is something that is deficient in most of us, almost all of us in Kali Yuga. We are trying to be devotees, but we have no faith. And because of a lack of faith, we have become weak. We call ourselves Hindus, but the truth is, the followers of Sanatan Dharma, we have become very weak. You know why we are so weak? Anybody can say anything to us. Anybody can do whatever. It took 500 years for us to build the Ram temple. 500 years. You think in any other country where there is a dominant religion or a population, they would take that much time? Only in India. 500 years to build a temple for Bhagavan Ram, and he was living in a tent. Bhagavan Ram was living in a tent. How shameful. Today we are celebrating it, but we should also be ashamed that we took 500 years to do something like that. Anybody can come in our country and say, Jai Shri Ram is banned, you cannot chant. Or this is done, that is done, they'll change your history. They can insult our Bhagavan and nobody will do anything. Can you imagine anybody insulting any other religion openly in the mic? It will never happen. We call ourselves tolerant because one great minister once came and taught us that if somebody slaps you on one cheek, you have to show your other cheek. This is the bad habit that we have built. This is actually cowardice, it is not tolerance. We call it tolerance. We say we are very tolerant people. Actually, we are cowards. Because if you have some kind of dignity, the moment nobody should even think or dare to speak in that way. But you know why we are so weak? We are weak because we don't follow our sadhana. There is no tapasya left in the followers of Sanatan Dharma. We are ashamed. We are ashamed of our own dharma. You know, the Lord's lips, shyness, the quality of shyness or shame comes from the Lord's lips. There is a positive side to that and there is a negative side to that. The shyness that we see in women, that comes from the Lord's lips, his mukharavinda, it comes there. So it's a very beautiful thing. When a devotee does something wrong and we are ashamed in front of the Lord, when we put our head down in front of the Lord, sorry, I could not do this, I'm ashamed. I was not able to follow. The Lord is pleased with that. That also comes from his lips. But the negative side of shame is that people become shameless. When they forget the mukharavinda of the Lord, they become shameless. Their behavior, they become shameless. We have no shame sometimes when someone even disregards our Bhagavan and says something insulting about the Lord. We have no shame. That's why we never stand up to what is right. I'm not encouraging anything, take talwar and go and attack and all that. We're not doing that. There is no need to do that. If all of us very proudly stand up for what we are, what is our dharma? You know, first of all, many people don't follow Ekadashi, for example. Ekadashi is a very basic principle. And we must follow Ekadashi. Everybody who calls himself a Vaishnava, or even if they are not a Vaishnava, any Sampradaya, Ekadashi, Shastra say there is no other Upavas in the world that is more important than Ekadashi. And actually, Ekadashi is supposed to be Nirjal Ekadashi, where you don't take a drop of water. If you cannot take a drop, you cannot do that Nirjal Upavas, then you do it Sajal, take little water. If you're very weak and you're unable to do that also, then you do Safal with fruits. Nothing beyond that. Nothing beyond that. Don't make all these complicated food. They have Ekadashi pizza, this, that. All that is bakwas. Don't have all that. Uh, one day you fast, it will take care of your health also. Okay? But I'll tell you this: if you're fasting on Ekadashi, and somebody asks you why you're fasting, don't give reasons of health and all that. You say I'm fasting because it pleases Vishnu. We're devotees of Krishna and we fast. You hear any of these other communities, they fast for an entire month, and you ask them why they're fast. No, for health and diet. Do they give those reasons? Never. In fact, when they do that kind of fasting, you'll see other Hindus also around them. Are don't eat in front of them. He's fasting. We have a lot of respect. But if anybody is fasting for Ekadashi or Sunday को क्या किया? मंदिर गया था. मंदिर? क्या यार? What's wrong with you? मंदिर गया था. This guy goes to temple and all that. They will ridicule you. This is because we have done it to ourselves. It's because we are apologetic. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So there is a small population now. We're taking pride, but it is not enough. We have to take pride, and everybody has to take pride, and we have to encourage others also. And when we say Ekadashi, we are fasting on Ekadashi. We should say it in such a way that, oh, you don't fast for Ekadashi? It should be like that. They should feel, acha, we're supposed to, acha, theek hai, we'll also follow. It should be like that. That's the kind of confidence that we should have. Why should we be apologetic? Yeah, I go to temples. What do you do on, sometimes even my family members tell that. They ask me, what did you do New Year? New Year, we went to Ahobalam, we went to temples. Acha, what is wrong with you? और 31st रात को क्या पिया? चरणामृत पिया हमने. हाँ? अच्छा. so, so don't do all these other things and don't be apologetic. Go to the temple, be proud of it. And if you're a devotee, be proud of it. Wear tilak with pride. Why you have to hide something? Right? Tilak, or if you're not unable to wear it for whatever professional reasons, you cannot wear a full tilak, wear a small, chandan with small dot or something like that. But don't be ashamed. Because the Lord is not ashamed of us. Bhagavan Ram, when Ramachandra, extremely aristocratic. Okay, the Ayodhya Vasis were known to be so aristocratic. There was nobody in the world who was so royal and aristocratic like Lord Ram. But after the 14 years and defeating Ravan, Bhagwan Ram goes with all the Vanaras, and the Vanaras are from the forest. They don't know how to behave. But he took all of them and he goes, can you imagine? Can you go inside your office carrying a monkey? You will never do that, no? Bhagwan Ram walked into the aristocratic Ayodhya Bhavan along with all the entire Vanar Sena. And everybody said, what is this? They're all hanging here and there. What is going on? And they said, they're my people. They're my guests and they're going to be here. So only in front of Lord Ram, all the Vanar Sena, they were all well behaved. The moment Lord Ram would go, they will hang, break, they will do all this. But he was very tolerant of all of that. So the Lord is not ashamed of us. Why should we be ashamed of the Lord? So if you're a devotee, we have to pray, we have to claim that we are servants of the Lord. There is nothing to be ashamed of that. It's a very important thing. And this strength comes from Lord Narsimha. So when Lord Narsimha appeared and everybody was scared, so and they were acting scared. The Devatas are never scared of Lord Narsimha because Lord Narsimha doesn't like his devotees being afraid of him. His fear is for the Daityas, but he doesn't want his devotees to be afraid. He said, hey, why you have to be afraid? So at that time, they were wanted to encourage Prahlad Maharaj to offer his prayers. So Prahlad Maharaj offered his prayers. Can someone read this verse? Satvai Pipruhu. Hmm. So the last word, he says, my Lord, how can I offer prayers to you? Because I am Ugra Jati. Ugra Jati means, Ugra means Asura. I'm born in the family of Ugra Jatis. I'm Ugra Jati. My Jat is of Ugra. I'm Ugra Jate hai. How can I offer prayers when even Brahma and all these other devatas are, their prayers are not pleasing you? I'm Ugra Jati. How can my prayers please you? The Lord in his mind, he twisted that Ugra Jati and he said that I am the greatest Ugra Narsimha, and you are my Jati. You are my cub. I am the lion and you are my cub. So Lord Narsimha empowers Prahlad Maharaj. And Prahlad Maharaj, because Lord Narsimha himself empowers him and he becomes truly Ugra Jati because he belongs to the family of Lord Narsimha. That is how he was able to glorify Lord Narsimha with the best of words. His intelligence became purified. Each one of us here are Ugra Jati. We belong to the family of that lion. And the cubs of lion are never scared. We're never scared. And devotee should be strong always, mentally, emotionally, in every situation. It's a very important thing. Kali Yuga is coming in its full force and it demands that devotees be strong. You should not just be emotionally strong, you should also be physically strong. Devotee shouldn't be weak, physically we are very weak. No, you should be physically also strong. And your physical strength will come from your mental strength, from your spiritual strength. Yudhishthir Maharaj in Mahabharata, he trained not just the Kshatriyas, he would also train the Brahmanas in warfare. He would also train the women of Hastinapura in warfare. Even women and Brahmins were ready. It was not that only the Kshatriyas were ready to fight. Everybody was prepared to fight. When the time comes when there is an emergency, everybody was ready to fight. Chanakya Pandit, who was the king at that time, who he was fighting with, there was a very uncultured king. Yeah. So Dhananand. So this was the Nanda dynasty. Okay, so Dhananand. So this from the Nanda dynasty, he used to insult all of them. And once he sent some soldiers to even attack Chanakya. And Chanakya defeated them. And Chanakya said, all these Andu Pandus, I have taught them how to fight. I can defeat them. But it's not my duty as a Brahmana. But I know how to create a leader who will replace you one day. And that's how he created Chandragupta Maurya with his power. That's the power of a Brahmana. Brahmana is not simply some Purohit in a temple. Brahmana had the power to create an entire society. That is why Brahmins are given that kind of respect. Today we call somebody Brahman, it's not just the thread that you wear. It's the potency that you have as a Brahman. That is what is important. So Chanakya Pandit was a Brahman of that caliber. So this is how it is. So Prahlad Maharaj, he continues. When he appears in front of the Lord, he glorifies the Lord and he teaches others also. He says, Matirna Krishne Paratas Swatova Mitobi Bhadyeta Graha Vratanam Adanta Gobir Vishatam Tamishram Punah Punas Charvita Charvananam. Prahlad Maharaj replied, because of these uncontrolled senses, persons who too addicted to materialistic life make progress towards hellish conditions and repeatedly chew that which has already been chewed. Their inclinations towards Krishna are never aroused, either by their instructions of others, by their own efforts, or by a combination of both. He says that It's because of sense gratification. People don't have control over their senses. And this is especially true in Kali Yuga. The kind of movies that we watch and, people dancing, and it's not just movies, it can be even on, your reels and all of that, that people watch. Uh, it's vulgar. Sometimes it is so vulgar. We just, you can't even, uh, sometimes small children are there on it. And there is no control over this. You know how much of damage it does on an emotional level. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying that someone who has uncontrolled senses, they are the people who become weak. Uncontrolled senses, persons too addicted to materialistic life, make progress towards hellish conditions. And they repeatedly chew something that has already been chewed. We have been doing this for lifetime after lifetime, chewed, and we are taking what is already chewed and we're chewing it again. He says it's disgusting. This lifetime should be dedicated to Vishnu. नते विदु स्वार्थगतिम हि विष्णुम दुरासया ये बहिरर्थमानिनः अंधा यतांदैर उपनीयमाना स्तेपी शतंत्र्याम उरुधाम निबद्धाः. Persons who are strongly entrapped by the consciousness of enjoying material life and who have therefore accepted their leader or guru, a similar blind man attached to external sense objects, cannot understand that the goal of life is to return home back to Godhead and engage in the service of Lord Vishnu. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying sometimes blind people accept other blind people as leaders. I'm accepting somebody as my guru. That person himself is blind. So they are different role models. You ask small children today, who is your role model? Ranbir Kapoor or some this, some that. Arey, what is he? What has he even done in life? Yeah? I mean, I have nothing against them. They are all professionals in their field. But to make them my role model, for what? Acha, you can't say Bhagwan Vishnu, you can't say Prahlad Maharaj, theek hai. Some, Bhagat Singh at least, Swami Vivekananda, somebody who is a great personality, which means even our history is so weak. History is so weak that we can't think of anything except for Bollywood actors or cricket stars at the most. Very shameful. I was talking to somebody and I was talking about uh, the Pandavas, some school I had gone, and the school principal is asking me, so when did the Pandavas meet Ram? Uh, so even I got confused. Pandavas, because so much confidence. So when did the Pandavas meet Ram? I did not. So I asked Pandavas. I took 30 seconds. When did Pandavas meet Ram? So this is the condition of our so-called Hindus, that we don't even know the difference between Ramayana and Mahabharata. Hmm? So anyway, so this is Lord Narsimha. Prahlad Maharaj, he continues to say, he says, how does a person make his life useful and how does he actually benefit? So Prahlad Maharaj says, unless they smear upon their bodies the dust of the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, a Shuddha Vaishnava, completely freed from material contamination, persons very much inclined towards materialistic life cannot be attached to the lotus feet of the Lord. So unless we get the mercy of a Vaishnava, like Prahlad Maharaj, we cannot understand Narsimha. So Lord Narsimha is a very unique personality. Okay. Uh, Towards the end, since we are almost running out of time, there are many incarnations. You know the difference between Lord Narsimha and all other incarnations? Apart from the physical features, very, yeah, all other features, they take time. When Sita Devi was kidnapped, Lord Ram took 1 year to go and protect her. When Devaki and Vasudev were in jail, Krishna took 12 years to go and release them. He takes his time. But Narsimhadev, one knock on the pillar, yes, he opened the door. Okay, so Narsimhadev appears immediately. In fact, all other incarnations of the Lord, Whenever they take a Ugra form to kill demons, it can be Bhagwan Ram when he killed 14,000 demons. There were many rishis in the forest. They said that we were able to see just like a lion charging from one corner to the other. You were charging like a lion. So every incarnation has a Narsimha inside them. And whenever they are showing their Ugra form, it is Narsimha that is killing them. When Prahlad Maharaj, when Hiranyakashipu asked, where is, uh, where is this, your Lord? And the Lord had planned already that I will be there in the pillar. But Prahlad Maharaj did not know that. Prahlad Maharaj said, he can be there anywhere. Are? So that day, Vaishnavacharyas explain that Narsimhadev decided that I will be there in every atom because Prahlada said I can be anywhere. So I have to be ready. Because he was there only in the pillar. But after Prahlada says, no, he can be anywhere, he was present everywhere. That is why we pray, Ito Narsimha, Parato Narsimha, Yato Yami, Tato Narsimha, Bahir Narsimha, Hridaye Narsimha, Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapadhya. Narasimha is there everywhere in every situation. Always, whenever there is an emergency. In fact, if you go to Guruvayur temple in Kerala, Guruvayur temple, wherever you go, particularly in Guruvayur, the Lord is so small and so beautiful. And the moment you plan before you have darshan, I will ask him for this and I will ask him for that, and my job, my appraisal, I have to ask, and so much plans. But the moment you go, you will forget everything. Because, Haribol, finish, darshan over. Then you'll think, I had thought of so many things and I couldn't ask. So Guruvayurappan, right behind the temple, there is a Narsimha also. He says, all your requests that you forgot in front of me, you can go and ask there. And he will fulfill that. Narsimha appears to fulfill the desires of his devotees. That is why he asked Prahlad Maharaj, ask me what you want. Prahlad said, I don't want anything. He said, I have appeared to give only. My job is to give, so you ask me. So he is waiting. He wants devotees to ask. But we should ask like Prahlad Maharaj. Don't go and ask, I want Mercedes car and all that. You have to ask like Prahlad Maharaj. And Prahlad Maharaj asked that, let me never forget your lotus feet. Give me that boon. In fact, there is one pastime when Rukmini Haran happens. When Rukmini Devi, what is Rukmini Devi's brother's name? Rukmi. Rukmi had planned to give Rukmini in marriage to Shishupal. But she did not want to marry Shishupal. So she said, there is only one hero that I think of, Krishna. I will write a letter to Krishna and I'll call this Krishna to come and protect me. She has never met Krishna before, but she knows everything about Krishna. So she writes a letter to Krishna, a long letter to Krishna, that I will be there on this date in the morning. I will go to the temple there, and that time you have to come and you have to take me and go away. So she writes the entire plan and she gives it to a Brahmana. And this Brahmana had to go all the way to Dwaraka to give it to Krishna. But in the letter, instead of, when you write a letter to somebody, you write dear, that person's name. She's writing to Krishna, but in the address, in the name, she writes, dear Yadava Simha, dear Narasimha, dear Yadava Simha, please come and protect me. So the Brahmana read the letter, love letter is personal, but Brahmana read it. So he read the letter and he's asking Rukmini Devi, who is this letter for? She said, Krishna. Then why are you writing Narsimha, Yadava Simha? The entire letter, you are not even mentioned Krishna. She says, yes. Because if I write Krishna, all the gopis in Vrindavan, they keep calling him Krishna. So on the way from Dwaraka to this place, Magadha, when he has to come, if I write Krishna, Krishna, and he remembers the gopis and he goes to Vrindavan, then the whole muhurta, I'll lose the muhurta. And emergency, urgently, only Narsimha comes. Krishna doesn't come. So I have to address him as Simha. Only then that lion, the Yadava lion, the Yadava Simha will come. So she reminded Krishna also that you are Narsimha. Please come urgently. It's an emergency. I will get married by the time. If you take a lot of time, they will marry me by force to Shishupala. So Krishna comes like a lion, Yadava Simha. So in that particular pastime, he is called as Yadava Simha. So there are many pastimes like this, and the Lord is present in many forms. One last thing before we close for the day. It's time, huh? Twilight? No, it's time for Narsimha to come. He has just broken the pillar. It's evening. So Lord Narsimha has appeared and he attacks Hiranyakashipu. So there is a great fight that happens between the two. And Lord Narsimha finally, he picks up Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyakashipu says, No yoga boss, I have lot of boons. I cannot be killed in the day or night. Oh, he realizes it is evening. It is neither day nor night. And then he says, "No, I cannot be killed by anyone created by Brahma." He says, "I'm not created by Brahma. I'm the original. I create many Brahmas." He says, "Okay, but I cannot be killed inside the house or outside the house." The Lord has already picked him up and taken him to the doorstep, between the neither inside the house nor outside the house. He says, "I cannot be killed on the ground or in the sky." He says, "I'm going to kill you on my lap." Then he says, "I cannot be killed by any weapon." He opens his nail, Nakha. He says, "I cannot be killed by anything living or dead." He says, "My nails," so nails or hair, this is neither living nor it is dead. Okay, actually all this is dead material, but still it grows, so it is still living. Okay, so neither living nor dead. So he says, I'm going to use my nails, which are neither living nor dead. I'm not using a weapon. So the Lord, he expands himself and he displays 10 arms. Okay, 10 pairs, totally 20 arms. And he tears open Hiranyakashipu's stomach and he brings out his intestines and he makes a garland out of it. It's a very fierce form, Ugra Narsimha. And at this point, in the mind of Hiranyakashipu, he is about to lose his life. But in his mind, he makes a comment to Narsimha. He says, Narsimha, this is a very unfair fight. So Narsimha is looking at him, he's about to die. It's a very unfair fight. I will not consider this as a defeat because I have only two hands and you have 20 hands and you have fought with me with 20 hands. I will not consider this as a defeat. It's not a fair fight. You have killed me unfairly. So Narsimha says, next time, tatastu. So next time he appears, the Lord says, I will appear with two arms and you will have 20 arms and 10 heads. So Ravana, he appears with 10 heads in the last battle with Bhagwan Ram. He has 10 heads and he has 20 arms. And he fights with a two-armed Bhagwan Ram. And the Lord defeats him there also. And he says, challenge accepted. So this is what happens between the Lord and even Daityas. It's an amazing pastime. So the Lord never keeps any debts. The Lord never keeps any debts. He is the greatest hero. That is why he is called Mahavira. And there is no hero greater than Lord Narsimha. So just like Prahlad Maharaj did, from the bottom of our heart, let us pray to Lord Narsimha that let him remove all our anarthas from our heart. Let him remove all kinds of fear from our hearts. Any kind of fear, um, any kind of bad habits that we may have, let him remove all of that. Any unnecessary feelings, anything that we have in our heart, anything. We may be ashamed to even open up and talk about it to anybody. Sometimes we may have things in our heart, we may not be able to speak to our own spouse, you may not be able to speak to your own parents about it, but he is all yours. Lord Narsimha is always listening to his devotees. Okay, so he's very fearsome to the Daityas, but you can see Prahlad Maharaj is right there holding a garland and he's very dear to his devotees. So let us pray to Lord Narsimha that he may always protect us and take care of us and remove all kinds of fear from our heart and give us the strength to be his devotees and proclaim very boldly that we are his devotees. Narsimhadev Bhagavan ki Jai. Bhaktraj Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai. Very beautiful, huh? So my request is, we have this in three languages. My request is that devotees, we should be able to chant this mantra right now. And